Welcome back to ASBR Boxing. We're delighted to be joined by Niall as we are reacting to the fight that we have just watched there in Las Vegas. Conor Benn against Peter Dobson. It was undefeated against undefeated, and it is Conor Benn who remains undefeated after unanimously beating Peter Dobson on all three scorecards. The scorecards read 119, 109, and 118, 110 on the other two scorecards. Niall, thanks for joining me, mate. Appreciate your time as always. Yeah, just your initial reaction to what you just watched and what you thought of that fight.
I thought it was a very entertaining fight. The expected winner, but maybe not how we expected it to happen. Not a lot of people knew about Peter Dobson before coming in tonight, but he proved that he's undefeated for a reason. He's really game, and a lot of people expected Ben to stop him, but Dobson was very clever professional. He's and very durable. Like it started out like I said, this fella's froze. Dobson was at the freezing here, and the occasion got to him. Ben started brilliantly, and then he just rode the storm. He said he was so durable, and he said, right, that's the best you've got. And he dug in there, and he had some success. Ben, the deserved winner by a good margin, but yeah, I thought Ben looked good too, and Ben proved that he has a chin on him too because Dobson can punch, and he landed a couple of big right hands and uppercuts on Ben that got his attention, but Ben rode the storm. So yeah, an entertaining fight, surprisingly.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. I think you've hit the nail on the head there. I think, as you mentioned, I think it came out there and Ben looked maybe like he could have got the Dobson early and stopped him within the first few rounds, was landing some reasonably big shots. But I think the more the fight grew on, particularly from maybe round three, four into five and six, it was clear that Dobson was like, right, now I'm comfortable. I can take your best shots. Is that all you got kind of thing? Although, he was comprehensively beaten in the end. I think after three or four rounds, after I agree with what you said, he maybe froze initially. I think he did work his way into the fight. He was as tough as old boots. Took a few of Ben's best shots as well that we've perhaps seen, knock over other opponents in the past, for various different reasons. But we'll not get into that in this video. But yeah, um, I think overall, if you're Conor Benn, are you happy with that 12 rounds? You probably are, but at the same time, it doesn't. We don't. What more do we really know? After that, yeah, he's got maybe he'll be happy. He's got his chin checked. His gas tanks tick there as well, going 12 rounds and looking comfortable doing so. But then there are question marks for me as to whether how powerful is Ben. Does his power translate up to the upper echelons of the welterweight division? We'll see. Still time. Still a while away from world title ambitions, in my opinion. Conor Benn. I don't know what you think now, but yeah, happy enough with his performance, but perhaps a little bit underwhelming. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, definitely, of course. Like as I mentioned, a lot of people were expecting the stoppage, but that's not to discredit Peter Dobson. Peter Dobson has proved himself to be a really tricky fighter and a quality fighter who was well worth his undefeated record and very durable. But I'd say Ben will be he will be disappointed in that regard. I was thinking as well that possibly a part of him that wanted to beat his old man's performance when he went to Las Vegas and beat Aran Barkley in one round, to kind of compare himself to his father. But yeah, I did think he looked well. He answered questions about his chin and he won the fight well, although he didn't get the stoppage. But yeah, there will be that slight disappointment there, I'd imagine.
Yeah, man, I completely agree with everything you said there. One thing I kind of want to touch on, I suppose, without getting too much into it, as because Mal and I are also going to be reacting to. Obviously, we're just reacting to that fight now, but we'll be looking at what perhaps is next for Conor Benn. So that won't go live until Sunday. But yeah, be sure to check that out in the channel. When as and when it does come out. But you know, where do you 2024 after seeing what you've just seen there from Conor Benn, um, if you're Eddie Hearn, if you're Ben's manager, if you're someone close to Conor Benn, and what do you want to see him do next? Do you want another similar level opponent to Peter Dobson? Maybe with, I'm not going to say Dobson didn't have any ambition because I think he did, but maybe he had to get it fought out of him a little bit at some stage. Do you try and look for someone who's been there and done it at world level at welterweight? What are your kind of thoughts if you're Team Ben for the rest of 2024? Do you want just to get him active, or do you want to really up the levels ASAP?
I think, yeah, both. I think you have to keep him active, Ben, keep him active. But also, I think now it has to be a step up from the Peter Dobson levels. Like you mentioned yourself, it's going to be a while till we're not talking about world title contention. But it is very interesting with Ben to see what is going to be next, to be honest with you. Because, as you said yourself, we won't get into it. Ben has plenty of issues, outside the ring. We won't go too much further into that. So it's I'm really curious to see what is next for Ben. Hopefully it is a step up from Dobson. There's the Eubank fight there. There's plenty of intriguing fights at welterweight too. I know you've been a big advocate for the Lewis Crocker fight, which by the way I think will be an outstanding fight to be honest with you. But yeah, as you mentioned, we'll be doing a what's next reaction. So I'll say what I want to be next for that video, but I'd say what will be next. I can see the Eubank fight happening either at a catch weight or at 160. I can see him going up to 160 and I'm fighting in Saudi Arabia. I just think there's too much money involved for that fight not to happen, and the history of the family history and what happened before they were previously meant to fight. I just think it's I think they're setting it up for that, to be honest. So I definitely think Eubank Ben in 2024 at the very least, and I think that happens next for me.
Yeah, interesting, mate. As you said, we'll touch on all of that in our what's next for Conor Ben video. It'll be on the channel, guys. So please do check that out. But just finally, I kind of last few questions I want to ask you now, just really kind of quick ones. That performance there from Conor Ben against Peter Dobson. If you're scoring that out of 10, what would you give him?
I'd give him. It's a good question, actually. I suppose I'd give him a 7. I won't be too harsh on him. I think, as I said, I think he looked good. He fought really well, won it wide. The only detraction I gave was that he didn't get the stoppage. He was his volume punching was good. He was aggressive, and he proved he could take a shot and dig in when needed. Which will give him a lot of confidence too. So yeah, 7 out of 10 on that one for me. There's definitely improvements. Conor Ben is limited. He always has been. We know he's limited, but he's exciting. And he does seem to be improving fight by fight, no matter what you want to say about him. From the fighter that kind of went life and death with Cedric Payne now in York Hall, he's a completely different fighter to back then. So, yeah, solid 7 out of 10. I thought it was a good night's work for Conor Ben.
Yeah, mate. Can't really disagree. I'll maybe be a wee bit harsher and give him a 6 just because he didn't get the stoppage. But yeah, I can't really disagree with you, mate. I think that's all we really have time for. As I said, please do check out our video on the channel of what's next for Conor Ben, and I'll be going live on Sunday. What do you want to see Conor Ben do next? What did you make of his performance? Do you think maybe are we being too hard? Did you give him an 8 or a 9, or were you not impressed at all? Did you see him down there as a 2, 3, or 4? Let us know, guys, in the comments as always what you think, and please like, share, subscribe, all of that, and catch us on social media as well. But now, appreciate your time as always, mate. Top man, and yeah, I'm speak to you again soon.
Cheers. Take care.